CES 2018 is over in Las Vegas, and I wanted to do a top 5 recap of some of the great camera tech type of things that came out there. It was a little underwhelming, but it seemed like it was pretty much the year of cars, of, foldable televisions and robotic dogs. No, seriously, there's robotic dogs that are insanely expensive. So no shock, the Panasonic GH4 S is probably basically the only real camera to come out of CES 2018, and it was received very interestingly online. I previewed it the other week, so look at that down in the description below. And you're getting a $2,500 low light Panasonic beast, and this is kind of what the Panasonic GH5 should have had, but now it's 10.2 megapixels, so there's been a lot of knockoff complaint about that. But if you want very, very, very high quality, great low light images, more megapixels hurt in that matter, so less megapixels is a great choice. The other thing that they have with this is a native dual ISO, which helps out with this, and really what you can do with this bad boy right here. Basically, Vlog is included, and there's internal 4K 422 at 10-bit, so you can grade and pretty much have the full spectrum of everything that you need. Once again, the Panasonic GH4 S made the showing. That was probably the biggest press conference, especially the one that I tuned in for, and there you go right there. That's $2,500, and I think it starts shipping February 8th of 2018. That's number 1. DJI hit it out of the park this year. At number 2, I'm going to round up and say the DJI Osmo Mobile 2. Now, it's really great. It's very awesome that creatives can basically have a smartphone. A lot of the smartphones now are very capable of capturing great images as long as you have good lighting as well, and now you can have gimbals for them that don't break the bank. The Osmo Mobile was a very cool device, but it was a little pricey for what it is. But now the version 2, which is now more advanced, you still use the DJI Go app, is only $129, and they changed a couple of the things around. You get a lot of the controls on the front, and there's just a couple other little features that they included. But the Osmo Mobile 2 is definitely a big announcement for them. That also being said, DJI comes in at number 3 for me as well with the Ronin S. The S basically meaning single-handed or single operator, and they have a new 3-axis gimbal that is geared towards mirrorless shooters and DSLR shooters, so this bad boy can hold some weight onto it right there. It's going to be under $1,000, which hopefully it should be, and that it's going to be easy to adjust, and you could do a lot with just one hand. A lot of the controls are more front-facing, no clicking or doing a lot of the stuff. It'll actively track fast. It'll do very well with heavier weight, and that's some of the biggest things that a lot of people had complaints with. But once again, there's no official set price at the time of this video. If there is, I'll update that in a pinned post. But the Ronin S is a pretty cool thing if you really need stabilization, and hopefully it won't break the bank or your wallet. Coming in at number 4 is the Nikon 180 to 400 millimeter VR f4 lens. It's only about a $12,400 lens. It looks pretty cool. There's not much else to say about it besides that it's a big lens. It has a 1.4 times teleconverter built into it. It's a big lens from Nikon. Kind of grabbing for stuff because CES was a little light. And going off of that, there really isn't a good 5th option as well. There's a couple mentions that really wasn't a CES play, but it got some CES coverage, and it was a little bit of a focal point. That would be the GoPro Fusion. The GoPro Fusion is their 360 camera. I've seen Fun for Louie use it when he does around the world flight, and it actually looked pretty awesome. And the cool thing about that and the app that it uses, or the platform or whatever, is that you can actively say where the audience should be looking, so you can control where the audience should first be starting before they move and swipe around and everything. So that's unique, but it is severely overpriced at $700. Once again, a lot of the GoPro's issues come down to pricing and not understanding the market, but the image quality looks pretty decent for it being a 360 camera. The other thing I wanted to mention is the Insta360 Nano S. That's basically the cheaper, what's it going to cost? $240 thing that you connect to your smartphone, and you can use their app and go from there. They're okay products. The quality usually isn't that amazing, but if you want the little world effect where it's like you're the big person and the world's around you, you could get that effect for pretty cheap. So the biggest question is, why wasn't there more? Why didn't we hear anything from Nikon, Canon, or Sony? And it's a very simple answer. A lot of this stuff doesn't really come out during CES, especially the big stuff. Nikon and Canon are gearing up to go mirrorless this year. Hopefully, we'll see about that. And Sony really kind of used everything that they had at the end of 2017 with the Sony A9, the A7R Mark III. But, you know, when are we supposed to see the A6700, the A7S Mark III, the new RX100 Mark VI? We don't know, but I would usually guess what they do around possibly maybe March or May, so Q2 or Q3 of 2018, we'll be seeing more of this stuff. But probably the A7S Mark III is the very, very sought for camera for 2018 from them. All I got here, that is my top 5 favorites from CES 2018. And I'm glad I don't go to these because it's kind of a waste of money, even though it'll be a very cool experience, because we don't really see a lot of great, amazing photo, you know, some interesting little video gear here and there, but that's about it. I mean, hey, if anyone wants a sponsor, I'll go, but it's probably not worth the shot. So we will see a couple of the other photo shows this year and pressers to see what goes on in our niche. Let me know down below, what are other cool things that you saw coming out of CES, or is anything in the top 5, or, well, mainly 4, an interest to you? Let me know down below.